The key to success is how far you're willing to push yourself when nobody else believes in you, when everybody else is quitting on you, when nobody else even understands what you're getting involved in. When I first started in the business, especially being of African American descent, you're dealing with people that just don't believe. And it's not that they don't believe in what we're doing, they don't believe in anything. But until you get to a point that you're just sold out on, and listen to what I'm saying, you can write this down, sold out on why you're doing it. Not sold out on the business itself, but why are you doing the business? Because that's what we're going to take a break so you guys can air out and really get an understanding of this. Why are you doing the business? So I have literally 5 segments of understanding this business tonight. One is understanding vision. I'm not going to go deep on that. There's going to be a second piece to this. I'm going to do a tandem to this. This is what I call Blitz Week. When I decide to make money, I go into a Tasmanian devil mode. Does that make sense to everybody? I mean, you think about it. If you opened up your store and you were only open twice a week, how much money would your store make? I mean, really? Is everybody following me on that so far? You just opened up a restaurant. You said, I'm only open on Monday and Wednesdays, and I'm only open for 2 hours. So people come to me when they want to make 7 figures or more. So I mean, you can choose to play on whatever field you want, and it's going to be, what I do is I actually give you way more opportunities than you really need. So all the things that I'll put in play are not mandatory. Does everybody understand that so far? It's because when I started in the business, I didn't have anybody to coach me. So I wasn't supposed to win. I was supposed to become a statistic in this game. I didn't have a weekly meeting to go to. I didn't have an RVP to talk to. I didn't have somebody making millions of dollars that I could pick up the phone or just show up in their presence or be able to pick and choose. Well, are you going to come on Wednesday? Are you going to come on Monday? I'm thinking about it. I think I'll come. See, that's the luxury that you guys have. Because I didn't have that luxury between me and my right-hand partner, it's funny, the people that have the least amount of support always win. Those are the ones that choose. Those are the ones that get pissed off and be like, you know what, I'm going to make this work. The ones that have the greatest amount of adversity, the greatest amount of challenges, the least amount of money, the least amount of resources, where other people, you can't write this down. You can't make excuses and money at the same time. Sorry. You can't make excuses and money at the same time. Excusitis is the most deadly disease on the planet. And people come up with an excuse all day long. There's 5 words that my son and everybody in my world knows not to ever use. One is I. I should only be used when helping somebody else. Because it plays into ego. Ego, the word ego itself stands for edging God out. When your ego is up here and you're all up and high and mighty where you think you want to be, usually pockets are down here. When your pockets are up here, your ego is usually down because you don't want nobody to know you have money in the first place. Does that make sense? Everybody follow me on that so far? So I is a word that should only be used when utilized as an asset and a contributor, where you're actually giving back to someone else's life. If is another word you don't ever want to use. Well, what if this? What if that? What if it works? What if you got rich? What a concept. What if you just in 6 months never have to work another day in your life? What if you could buy your mother and father a house in less than 12 months? What if you could write one check for your child's education for $40,000 and then not put a dent in your pocket? What if you can go and pick out your favorite car and just go up and they say, do you know how much that costs? Just because you said that, I want him to get the credit and here's the cash. What if you could tithe what you did last year in 1 month? What if it works? People go, what if this? What if that? What if, I don't understand the if conversation. Is everybody getting me on that so far? The third one is try. To try is to lie. Let's meet down in Long Beach at 8 o'clock. So you gonna be there? I'm gonna try and be there. Why should I meet you there? You haven't even committed. You gonna try, but you want me to show up. People get in the business and say, you know what, I'm gonna try it. As soon as I hear that, I already know they lost. As soon as somebody says, you know what, I'm gonna do my best. You know what I tell my son? I don't ever want to hear that come from your mouth again, because if you do your best, you don't have to say you did your best. You only say I did my best when you know you didn't do your best. People know when you did your best. Does that make sense? Yes or yes? Yes. So we got I, if, try, but, the fourth one. Now, but is a premeditated lie. That means you actually thought about it. I was going to come tonight, but. I was going to go to college, but. I was going to stay in the relationship, but. That means you actually gave thought to your lie. Does anybody understand that so far? How many people know what I'm talking about when I said it? Like, you know, I was really going, but nothing. And the fifth one is the one that is just the most illegal that I hate the most. And it's can't. That's like, ugh. That's just so toxic to me. What you can and can't do. Either you're going to do it or you aren't going to do it. That's what it comes down to. So before I break, because I'm going to take a 15-minute break and give you guys an exercise real quick. I want you to understand the process, because some people have been in the business a while, since we're going deep in the paint here, and had a challenge with making money with the opportunity. And some people are hungry, like Lana May is hungry. There's quite a few people in here, Lakeisha, you know, Precious. There's some people in here who are hungry. Anybody hungry? I mean hungry. I mean famished. I mean got to make some money yesterday. Do I have any of those people? Mm-hmm. Okay. So my job is to give you everything you need to understand and know to make money when? Yesterday. I can't hear you. Yesterday. This is yesterday's money. Yesterday's money comes down to how powerful your conversation is in combat. Is everybody following me on that so far? So watch what I'm saying in that. I want you guys to give me some of the objections you have gotten in conversation. Like I know Marcel sent me an inbox, and I have people around the country, and that's why I want to record this, of what you guys actually deal with. For those who've been around 30 days or so, or longer, or you know, you've tried this and you've been in for 2 weeks, and some of the conversations you're getting that have stopped you in your tracks and you don't know how to deal with it. Just show of hands. Anybody want to give me one? Ruben?
Just today, on my way here, a producer was like, is it a pyramid, be honest? And I'm like, it's a network marketing. Mm-hmm. I mean, and so then it's turned into a 45-minute conversation about, and that's why like, I don't know what the right
response is. Has anybody else had that problem with pyramids? Okay, so I love the pyramid conversation. I'm gonna tell you mine, but I want you to hear from a few of the leaders of how they deal with it. Ms. Frierson, could I have you come up? Can I have the mic, please? I want you to hear about three people that are seasoned in what's going on with it.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Amazing.
So the pyramid one is my favorite one because 99.9% of the people who ask you that don't know what it is. So if someone says, is it a pyramid? I ask them, what is that? And then they stutter. And I look at them and I say, you mean to tell me you just repeated something back to me that you don't even know what it is? Who told you that? And they'll say, well, over time, or no, who told you what a pyramid was? And I get them to give me a name. So mom, dad, my uncle. Okay, so what does uncle do? So uncle works at a car dealership. Does he own the dealership? No. Who owns the dealership? See, I'm going to give you 20 questions back so you can realize how dumb you just sounded. And I'm going to let you tell yourself how dumb you just sounded. And then I'm going to say, you know, I find that many people who hear the word pyramid heard it from someone else and never took the time to ask them what that was. Then my next question is do you know who I am? Yes. Or if you don't, let me tell you my background. Do I come across to you as someone that's going to have a conversation with you about something illegal? Are you testing my character right now? Because now I'm more upset that you're suggesting that I'm going to send you somewhere to do something illegal, because they're illegal since you know so much about them. And they're going to say, well, no, I don't think you would do that. So then what are we talking about? I'm talking about a system that people have been using for years, a system that has generated more money in Russia and Japan. Now, I don't know what a pyramid is outside of Egypt, but I do know that this is a system that people use a lot, and I would love for you to be a part of this system with me. Now, either you want to make money with me or you don't. If you don't, I'm cool with that too. I'll still love you. But look up pyramid, call me back, and tell me what it is.
One of the most esteemed and respected men in the world for what his craft and what he does, but he is one of the top leaders in the business. Dr. Maxey, could you come up here and tell us what you deal with? Yeah, give him a round of applause. One of the top men in the man that is selling the practice for 25 million, has made millions, and has already got everything that one could possibly want as far as respect. Why would a man like this that has practices and people that follow him all over the world from several different backgrounds and board of directors be involved with this illegal pyramid thing. I want you to hear his response, team coordinator, about to be RVP, at any point that he pushes a button, that he can actually bring in everyone from Brock all the way down, and I'm not joking. This is who he is, that people come to follow him. So let's just figure out what he said. Other side.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good. I am in this because it makes more sense than almost anything I've ever done. And I've understood what network marketing is, multi-level marketing. And without spending $100 million, which I spent 3 years ago to buy a business, I don't know what a key of cocaine costs right now. But this is the only legitimate way I know to make that kind of money, by doing something legitimate that's going to help you and help people. So as Mr. Nelson said, I have a company in Puerto Rico. We paid over $100 million, and I'm the president, CEO. And then I read at the bottom of my contract that I serve at the pleasure of the board. That means I got to call everybody Mr., everybody Miss. I got to be politically correct, because I can be fired. So I got a big title, but it don't mean that. I needed something that would secure my family, my children, and my grandchildren, that would pay me no matter what happens to the stock market, what happens when China drops $1 trillion out of their bottom line. And this is a business that allows me to have that possibility. Because of the teaching of Mr. Nelson and Dr. Glenn over the past 9 or 10 months, I've been able to reach that position where I can equal what my consulting fee is, which cost me $100+ million. That ain't bad. I'm tired, I've been flying, but I'm extremely excited, motivated to do this. And more recently, I have been looking for people that have really good Rolodexes. If you don't have a good Rolodex, I probably won't talk to you. Those are the people who can make this thing work.
Outstanding. Give him a round, please. So you have a woman who never went to college and finished college, who runs colleges all over the world, who makes over 6 figures, more than most people that have 3 degrees, who just gave you her posture and conversation. And you have a doctor that got more degrees than a thermometer, worth hundreds of millions of dollars. They gave you his posture on it. Mrs. Wellington, would you like to share? So I want to give you the woman who has owned the largest mortgage banking and finance company for homes as a minority black woman in all of North America to date. Millions of dollars. She was also here to Mr. Wellington earlier. Hear her response on a pyramid.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. We actually had this conversation just this morning in our team meeting, and Mr. Nelson has trained us to understand that it is okay to be ignorant of certain things. That just means you don't know, but it's not okay to be stupid. So what we know is that multi-level marketing has been around for centuries. Many of us are familiar with some of the top companies, and those would be like, say, Amway, Herbalife, Mary Kay, Tupperware, and we're ranked in the United States number 11, and we're probably one of the youngest companies. So what we talk about is educating people about what a ranking is for an MLM, what proof that we can show them, and we have independent publications that we use, which are the Direct Sales Association of America, the Multi-Level Marketing News, Global News on multi-level marketing, and we actually pass those publications out to our team. And we use those whenever it's necessary to educate people. We start off actually educating our prospects when we're talking to them, to educate them as to what this business is. And we actually have researched and studied this business, not just ACN, but this way of doing business. So that's how I approach those conversations and how our team approaches them.
Outstanding. Give her a round, please. They're much nicer than I am. All of them. So my response, who would like to role play? Anybody? Well, I went in closer, Ruben. I got you. So go right ahead. So ask me if it is.
So what is this all about? It sounds like a pyramid.
Do you like pyramids?
I don't, well, no, they're illegal, aren't they?
Then it's not a pyramid.
Then what is it? Because
It's
it sounds
making
like-
money. It's a systematic approach of being able to deal with distributors and actually leverage money, circumvent money, offset the expenses of a business owner while getting paid 3 times off of the work of 1. Have you ever done that in your business? Excellent, because see, most people have to be taught how to do that, and on top of that, they work on linear income. So in most cases, when you stop working, you stop getting paid. If you stop working today, how long would your check come in?
Maybe 2 weeks.
2 weeks. And see, I teach people that 2 weeks keeps happening even while they're asleep for 2 years. Now, back to the original question. Are you open to making money?
Yes. Yeah, I'm ready.
Anybody else want to role play? Yes, sir.
I'm kind of like one of those people that's kind of hard for you to convince me of something, because in the past I've actually trusted a lot of people in my life, and each time I did that, for whatever reason, it might be 5 months, 6 months, it might be a year, and then all of a sudden they come back and just snag me, and I'm like, what did I do to deserve that?
They backdoor you, cheated you, lied to you, took you for bad. Well, and so you're one of those people that need to be a little convinced. So here's what I would ask you to do. I need you to look at your bank account and then ask yourself, when was the last time you had a 2-month vacation, came back and had more money waiting for you? And that would be your convincing conversation. See, I can't convince you. I can only convince myself that the last time I had a 2-month vacation while working a job was right close to never. Since I was in high school, I remember, does anybody remember when you had a 3-month vacation? And then you had to give it up for summer school?
Yeah.
And then they told you that it was going to be a 4-year institution in college, and it turns into be a 5-year institution? And then you find out that you don't even remember anything you went to school for? And now you're working to pay off the student loan for the next 8 years until you date or marry somebody who's got bad credit?
Wow.
See, for me, that was my convincing conversation. So brother, you're going to have to convince yourself. I'm looking for somebody who's ready to run, who's hungry, who's famished, who's thirsty, and sick and tired of being sick and tired, and got sick again of being tired. And if that is you, then we can sit down and we can talk about a roadmap and a plan. I ask you, do you give me 90 days? And I'll show you the next 9 years of your life. Or I ask you to go away and become a customer, and I never see you again, and I still love you because you're going to pay your bills what? Anyway.
You better say it, Mr. Nelson.
I want to make sure we deal with all objections so we can get that out of the way. Yes, sir.
Like this man said about he needs convincing. All that is good what you said. Sounds fantastic. But you still didn't convince him. All you did was
Wasn't trying to.
But sometimes you have to convince
No.
him. Sometimes you have to give them that push.
If you heard, no, listen to me. Listen, I'm with you. Check this out. When I began in the beginning of this session, I said a person convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. If you have to convince a person to go to church, you're going to have to drag them the next Sunday. If you're going to convince a person to go to the gym, you're going to have to convince them the next week. It's easier
That's
to...
not always true, I don't think. Sometimes you don't have to continually convince a person. Sometimes you just show them that one time, and it's kind of leading them down that path. You don't have to always necessarily convince.
Now, if he asks, can you give me validation why? See, if the mind is open, I have no problem having an open conversation for validating why he should do it. But if you come to the table saying, convince me, I had enough challenges convincing myself that it's easier to give birth than to raise the dead.
So because you used the word convince instead of validate, you chose to take
100%. Now, when you find out, as we get to, if God blesses us to know each other and the people around you, there is no other black man you'll meet on the planet that will go as far as I will for another brother to be able to understand the opportunity that sits before you to change the entire scope of our history and create a future. I will go the extra mile beyond anyone you'll ever find. Beyond. Beyond. And will put my money where my mouth is. and will go that extra mile. So long as, because, and there's been examples of that in our past where a sister will ask, 10 people have applications ready to get started, and I'm sitting here convincing this one person, but not convincing, sharing, validating, getting her own mind to be tweaked just a little bit, to just be open enough to see the opportunity. And this sister asked, truly asked. Tanae will tell you, where's T at? Do you remember the conversation? This sister had, in her background and the people she brought, the sister was stellar. And the sister turned and looked at me, she said, why are you working so hard to convince me or get me to see the opportunity? My response, because somebody did it for me.
Right, because that one person that you may not push, that one person you may not push,
right,
like he said, may have a Rolodex that you may you may benefit from.
Solid conversation. The only challenge is what I found for a minority base, not even just black, is that you'll have somebody who is splashing in the middle of the water, saying, in the middle of the ocean. We trying to get from the island to the shore. We've been barren for so long. And one person's flashing, help me, I need help. Yes, I'm who you're looking for. And you're like, you barely got a raft you put together yourself off of Gilligan's Island. You pedaling. All right. Because, we'll get the shirt off our back to help each other, especially our family members and our brothers and sisters. And we'll actually paddle over, and I'll come and get the sister, but we won't pay attention to, there's a whole bunch of other dead bodies floating around her. She's the only one that's living because she done drowned everybody else that went over to try and help.
Wow.
Oh. So we have to find, please, Jay, turn that off. We have to find the right people to be able to work, because we're running a business. We aren't running a daycare. We aren't running a welfare station.
All right.
See, I prefer to go and make another $1 million and come back and give away $900,000 than to convince her that she can actually swim herself.
Yeah.
And so that's why I put hundreds of kids through college out of my own pocket. That's why I have two other nonprofits I'm funding right now, why I work in autism, and why I work in cerebral palsy, and why we give back in every issue and challenge, where I'm committed to giving over $500,000 back next year out of my own pocket. So no, I don't mind helping. I'm just not going to let them bleed me to death. Right. So we're going to run a business, and in running, if I give you a hotel, your job, you need three managers, night shift, day shift, autumn. They're going to run the hotel. In that, you aren't going to spend a whole lot of time convincing her that she can actually run a hotel. If she chooses that she just wants to be a maid, let her be the maid. Right? I need somebody who wants full responsibility, that wants to be a boss. And that's from, that's from out of jail. Right? That's from the streets all the way to the top. I need a boss. So that's what this environment is about, is creating a boss mentality. So in running and building the business, that's one of the greatest challenges of us, is because we always want to help so much to the point that we help the wrong people long enough, we lose our own dream and goals and get drowned in their mess.
All right.
So my job is to teach first how to go to the other side, then come back and you can take whoever you want, however you want to take it.
Yeah.
So, but I'm in total agreement with what you're saying. I will go that extra mile, but I won't sit around too long convincing, because one day you can write this down. 1 minute on 100 people versus 100 minutes on one. 1 minute on 100 people versus 100 minutes on one. Back to, it's easier to run with 3 than to drag 1,000. Because if you really want to, our job, I need everybody to write this down. Also write this down. Our job is not to motivate people. If you don't come to the table already self-motivated, you're already lost. Our job is to inspire. You're to live a life and do what most people won't expect can be done, to give other people validation that it can be done. But if you sit around spending all your time with people who are not willing to even, rescue themselves. Is that making sense? Everybody follow me that?
Yes, sir.
Because this isn't just applicable to network marketing. This is applicable to every realm of business. Even in my real estate business, everybody looking for a deal. Oh, could you just take these? But we boys. No, we ain't boys. This is business.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
My Hasidic Jews, my Koreans, my Japanese, they're like, here, let me give you more money just because I know you're going to do right by me and I want to be first in line, as opposed to looking for a cut.
Yes, sir.
Is anybody understanding that? We want to have a first-rate team that lives within a space of excellence, raising the bar, that no matter who comes to the table, they know that the integrity is there, the validation is there, the documentation is there, that there's no hype, no embellishment, no non-truth, that is like, so how'd you do? See, I want more. I would prefer everybody in here making $5 to $10 grand a month than me making $100 million a year. Because if one person sits in and they can talk to anybody in here, it's like, so how you doing? Made $5 grand last month. So how'd you do? Well, I made $5 grand last month. I mean, what excuse can you use? Dr. Maxey is over 70 years old, and I got 19-year-olds making $50,000 a month. So I have people come in and say, you know how old I am? This is for the young people. Then you need to talk to Dr. Maxey. I can give you a whole lot of other people. I mean, there's a whole lot of people on our team that are 70 and over killing the game. We got a whole bunch of 21, 22, 23-year-olds. See, here, there's no isms. There's no racism, there's no nepotism, there's no feminism. There's just you and the mirror and hard work. And if he's in a plane and she's in a car, and we race to New York, the plane's going to win. See, I love the law of attraction because I can bring up a Dr. Maxey, I can bring up a Dr. Glenn, then I can bring up a TJ. Where's my mic? TJ, tell them who you are. Just tell them what you've been able to accomplish. Come on, stand up here. His mama over here. Love his mama too. PhD from USC. Come on. What have you accomplished? Because I know you have a long resume, so please do tell them who you are. You've been working for the last 20 years. Here, I got you. You know, because, you know, to make it in this business, you have to have a long resume. You have to have put in years and had experience. How old are you now?
16.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, share.
Hi, everybody. My name is TJ, short for Jamari. I graduated high school when I was 12 years old. I graduated from Riverside City College at age 15 with 3 associate's degrees, mathematics and science, social behavioral studies, and humanities, philosophy, and arts. Currently, I help my mother with ACN. She saw it. I didn't see it at first, then I started listening to what was going on, and now I see it. My next plan, educational-wise, is to go to UC Irvine. It's right down the street from where we live in Corona. I'm really glad to be here and be under the instruction of Byron Nelson. We're not even in his team, but he still took us in and helped us because our upline is in Florida, so we haven't really had too much instruction rather than a phone call nagging at us to, did you get 3 more customers? Did you get 5 more customers? Did you get 7 more customers? I'm like, well, you didn't tell us how to get more customers. You just said, do it.
You
so
better come.
we just figured it out. So I really appreciate everything that he's been doing. I've been up here taking copious notes. I remember he said that when we went to Palm Desert, he said, rule number 1 was take copious notes. Look at my book, it's full of pages, you got stuff falling out, you got everything. It's full of copious notes.
Outstanding. Give him a round, please. That's inspiring, yes or yes?
Yes.
Okay. So we take away the excuse that you're 17, 18, 19 years old. We take away the excuse that you 80, 90 years old. We take away the excuse that you're black, white, Puerto Rican, Asian, whatever the persuasion. We take away the excuse that you're a single mom or that you're a woman. We take away the excuse. What excuse do you want to use to fail? Because people are going to find one to fail. Or you can find one to succeed. I only needed one reason to succeed. And that was my family. That's all I needed was just to, that's it. Does that make sense? Does everybody follow me on that so far?
Yeah.
So phase 1 is understanding the vision. We'll get to vision in a second, but I want you to understand, actually, I don't have time to train on that the way I want this evening, so I'm just going to break it down for you. Write this down. Vision is to be able to move, touch, and inspire every man, woman, and child that you talk to. I'll say that again. Vision is to be able to move, touch, and inspire every man, woman, and child that you come across their path. So in that conversation, in understanding where we're going as far as being able to share the opportunity, or where you're dealing with the objection of I don't, you know, it's a pyramid. What other objections do you guys get? Just so I can deal with some. Yes.
I'm too busy. I got a lot on my plate.
Excellent. I'm too busy and I have a lot on my plate.
Yeah.
So here's what's going on with you guys. You're saying too much, but I'm coming to you. You're saying too much, which I said, get yourself out of the way, right? When you first start within your first 30 days, I'm going to keep repeating this. Your only objective is to do 2 things. 1, get to 20, write this down, we're getting into the business now. 1 is to get 20 services as quickly as you can. To get 20 services as quickly as you can. Some will do it within a day, some will do it within a week, some will do it within 2 weeks, some will do it within 30 days. That's one objective. Remember I told you yin and yang. So if you want the attention of a leader, I'm only looking at the production. I'm not looking at what comes out of what comes somebody's mouth, because that you can learn how to do on your own, and with the coaching and the training that we're going to give you. Is what we are is a customer acquisition company. We have specialized in market share. If you have a restaurant with no customers, you make no money. If you have a hair salon with no customers, you make no money. If you have a church with no patrons, you make no money. You got a jail cell with no people, you make no money. I don't care what business you have, what we make our money in is market share and acquiring customers. The power in acquiring 20 services is understanding that that gets you 60 points. That's why you record, because the average person will not retain more than 10% of what they hear. And as fast as I talk, you won't keep more than 5. And that's why the key people that ever get greatness, they play it back, rewind, play again, rewind, listen to it. I don't care. You hear a song when you first hear it, and it just says, you just mumbling the words, you mess it up. Then all of a sudden you learn the words. Then after you actually own the song and own the words, you make up your own words. That's when you start to know, win, and champion something. Because repetition is the mother of learning. The 20 services, or if you will, services are equivalent to points. You can write that down. You need at least 60 points to max the comp plan. To get paid every dollar in the marketing plan, you need at least 60 points, which is equivalent to 20 services. Is everybody with me? Yes, yes. Yes. Understanding that in one of my houses, I have 3 phones, so that's 3 customers. I have 3 cell phones, so that's 6 customers, me, my son, and my assistant. I have an adapter, digital adapter, that's a 7th customer. I have internet, that's an 8th customer. I have cable, that's a 9th customer. I have gas, that's a 10th customer. Off of one house by myself, what made sense to me, because I had a real estate background, and I started off with residential, moved into commercial, strip malls, moved into commercial, and now I'm buying boutique hotels. What made sense to me and my father at the time is we said if we could help our tenants save money on their bills, maybe they can pay their rent on time. I had no idea it would turn into a $40 million a month business. So am I getting this conversation? Yeah. And by me duplicating, the key behind what you do is it has to be duplicated. One of the greatest things I learned from a billionaire, he said, Byron, I don't care how much money you make and how much success you get. If there's no successor, there is no success. I'll say that again. If there's no successor, there's no success. That's why Mozart taught Haydn and Haydn taught Beethoven. A lot of people know their names, but they don't know exactly who taught who. Success leaves tracks all the way through history, through this industry. Through anyone that's ever made a substantial amount of money, you'll find out that one person that made the 7, they taught somebody else who taught somebody else. I go through thousands of people to find one person like me that just has a burning desire, who says, I'm willing to be coached, that is not going to be so intelligent, that they have a conversation about everything. I'm not saying don't have critical thinking, but I can remember, I was like, why this, why that? He said, when you stop asking questions and you start doing, we can have a conversation. Because when you do, I can then coach you on your mistakes. But until you've done anything, we're just having a highly intelligent, derelict conversation. What are we talking about? You said, Byron, you haven't even gotten in yet. You haven't even made any mistakes. I can't even coach you. Serena has a coach for her mistakes, not for what you might possibly do. She goes and does all this, and they take the film back like I'm having it filmed and says, this is what you should have done. This is what you should have done. This is what you should have done. Not we have 3 hours before she even gets a racket in her hand. You might follow me on that so far? Yeah. That's why you got to understand the power of words. Write down the word decide. If you're looking for someone to get into your business, I like the precursor. Is everybody with me on that so far? So we're going to take a break in 5 minutes. Stick with me, because I know your mindset is going. Is everybody with me? Yes? Yes. Decision. Find people that know how to decide. I like to open up the conversation with, if I can show you how to make a 6-figure income in 12 months on 15 hours a week on your own schedule, could you make a decision? If somebody says it depends, run. I said, if I could show you. I don't know that I can, because I don't know that you're serious about it. I don't know that you really want to make time. You may love what you do. You may not want, but if somebody even hesitates. When I sat down literally with Spielberg, when I've had the blessing of being with Richard Branson, does everybody follow me on that? Yeah. I want you, I mean, this is predominantly a minority room. Who in here has ever sat down with Richard Branson? Who in here has had a one-on-one conversation with somebody as crazy as Donald Trump? Now we could keep going down the list. But see, that's a whole way different. See, if you're making $100,000 a month, do you hang out with people that make $100,000 a year? No, because they can't even afford where you hang out at. When you're in 12th grade, did you hang out with 5th graders? No. It's almost like, am I really, do I have to hang out with you? Do you see how far the disparity of the thinking process? You don't even entertain that. Most people, write this down, are busy being broke. They got a BA, a BS, they got a PhD, and LMNOD. There's the reason why my sister graduated top of her class at Duke Law School. There's why my father rewrote, the whole education system. Brown versus education, why he was part of that. It's the reason why my godmother is Maxine Waters. It's the reason why the people in this room, the ties that we have and what we do. We aren't trying to hang out with a lot of people, we just need the right people. Because see, the right people understand sacrifice becomes the only place sacrifice comes before work is in the dictionary. You can write that down, that's a good one. It's going to hit somebody in the parking lot. Back to the word decide as I close on this piece right here. A child has to decide to go to college before they can talk about what classes they want to take, before what college they're going to go to. That's why I use it as a beginning, if you will, of a conversation to ask, if I share this with you, can you make a decision? Because if you tell me anything other than an emphatic yes, your job is to get rid of people as quickly as you can. You met them in an opportunity, leave them. Do not make friends until you have somebody who's building dreams with you. Quick law. I only talk to people about my dreams that are going to help me build them, and I only talk to people about my problems somebody who can help me fix them. Some people just like attention and want to talk about everything. Yes or yes?
Yes.
Think about it. How many minutes is in a day? How many minutes is in a day? How many minutes in a day?
I can't even begin to think about it.
Minutes in a day.
1,300.
How many minutes in a day? Everybody's doing math. 1,440. I learned that from Johnny Copper. When you know what your time is worth, is when you will not waste a minute on somebody who doesn't understand what their time is. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Powerful conversation.
Yes, sir.
To decide. Find the people that made a decision. Here's the 3-part for the break. I want you, for those that come back, hopefully I'll run a few people away. Are y'all with me? Okay? It's a 3-part conversation. Back to you, Ruben, to understand how this works when you're dealing. The step 1 to deal with objections is posture. Write that down. You must be non-negotiable in why you're doing the business. Once you're non-negotiable, most conversations become futile. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
When you've decided you're going to college, or you decide you're going to the service, or you decided to be a great parent, no other conversation is in your space except for, I have to raise this child and give it what my father and mother didn't give me. Any other conversation is, what are we talking about? Well, you know, I don't need to know all that. All I need to know is if you're going to help me raise this child to be the best parent I could ever be. Did that make sense? Yes. Someone who's sold out on what they're doing. So posture. In getting the posture, you must master a conversation. 3 parts to the conversation. Don't have time to train on it. I want you to have it. The first part is called enrollment. Just like going to college. You have to enroll before you go to college. Every industry, why they pay me the money they do outside of ACN in every business arena is because I'm a master at teaching an enrollment conversation. I'm going to enroll her, I'm going to enroll him in a vision of him being able to buy this parcel of land, or why he should actually go to Morehouse, or why she should go to Stanford for one thing or the other, or why she should go to MIT because she wants to do mechanics, or why she should actually go to USC because she wants to do animation and arts and theater. I'm going to enroll you in the best program I have that is an institute at the highest level. So step 1 is, how powerful is your enrollment conversation? When people do not get involved with what you're doing, it's because you're having a $5 conversation. When you're having a $5,000 conversation, they see equity and value, and they'll show up wherever you say show up because you have value for your conversation. When I talk to people, people will drive as far as Missouri, get in a bus, and come out here to meet me for one day of a meeting and get back on the bus. Why? Because there's value in it, and I won't let them down. Part 1 is enrollment. Part 2 is registration. You got to learn how to close. ABC, always be closing. I close from start to finish. There's not one part like I'm a salesman. I'm closing you for who I am from day 1. I'm that type of person, you either love me or you hate me. There is no middle ground. I'm not trying to be liked. If I make you $1 million, you'll love me for the rest of your life. That's the bottom line. Allow me, give me 90 days, and I'll show you how real I am. That's what I do. That's why everybody else is here, and why they show up, why they sold out 2,000 people in less than 3 hours for Toronto for September 23rd in Toronto. Why they sold out 10,000 people in less than a week in Australia. My documentation's already stellar. I don't need to prove that. My job is to find the right person at the right time at the right place who's tired of where they are. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Get them to register. Write this down. This is a subset. Negative energy travels 11 times faster than positive energy. Negative energy travels 11 times faster than positive energy. That's why you want to stick with positive energy. A benevolence like you've never seen. And the third part of the conversation, activation. Means nothing if I register for the school, but I never show up to the college. So how quickly can you get somebody engaged? Here's the exercise for 15 minutes for the people that stick for the second half. By the way, my best part is always at the tail end. So this was a foundation because when a person first moves into a room or comes to a house that they've never been in, it takes at least 17 minutes before you're comfortable in a new environment that you've never been in before. Because everybody, when they first came in, it's like, oh, where do I sit? I don't know this person. What's going on? There's a lot of people. Yes or yes?
Yes.
I know exactly how many minutes it takes before the mind and the soul connect for you to feel comfortable enough to just sit down and be in a space where you actually have security for where you are. Everybody got that? Yes?
Yes.
Yes or yes?
Yes.
So here's what the exercise is. Write down why. Everything I told you in enrollment, registration, activation goes into why. Why do you need to do this business? Why I needed to do it is because I had my best friend stabbed 56 times in front of me when I was actually 12 years old. Why I had to do this is because I'm from the south side of Chicago. I moved to Compton, and everything I saw up until the time I got to college was destitute and something that you don't even want to know about. Everybody here has a story. Is everybody with me in that so far?
Yes.
Why is because everybody in my father's class was either dead or incarcerated, and he was the first one to break the mold of all of that. Why is because I grew up with a mindset that if you weren't born to leave something behind, why are you even existing? We're here for a legacy. I don't need everybody to do that. I just need the right people. This has nothing to do with ACN. ACN is just going to get you paid. We still don't owe ACN. That's another conversation, by the way. ACN just writes you checks. My top 10 people make $150,000 a month net take home in residual income alone. Bad problem with that, not one of them look like 90% of the people in this room. Not one is a brother or sister. Why do I have a guy worth $100 million liquid that will fly in to talk for 2 hours, and I got to beg a brother to sit back and come and get a free training that costs $3,000? I don't know. But I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to play that game. Does that make sense to everybody? I wear my heart on my sleeve. I don't make you know, it's not about what you think or what you like. When you leave here, will you have a phone?
Yep.
Will you use your phone? Will you use the computer? Will you turn on a light? You already in. You're either going to get paid or pay somebody when you leave. Your job during this break is to meet 5 people and tell them, why would you do this business? And we're going to take a 15-minute break. Meet 5 people. Just meet them. That's going to make you a little uncomfortable. Some of y'all are like, I don't like people. I don't want to talk to nobody. Some of you are going to run straight from the door and break out. They're like, you know what, I didn't plan to be here this long. And it's okay. Nobody's judging jury. You got to do what you got to do. Does that make sense? Yes or yes?
Yes.
But I do work for claps. We're going to work it for 15 minutes. Need 5 people. Love you guys. You ready? Say I'm ready? I'm ready. Beautiful. So what I'm going to go through is understanding how to teach, right? So the key behind, now I'm going directly in, all the fluff, all the hype, all the motivation. Now we're just going to get dirty. Everybody with me, yes? Yes. Okay, so the key to being able to do this business or to make money in the business, and you can write this down, the one who has the fastest copy machine wins. The one who has the fastest copy machine wins. It's going to take roughly about 30 days to create a nucleus of what's going on. So actually giving you an example, just a little bit of a vision of what's happening so you understand. My book that's coming out in the first quarter of next year is called No Network, No Network. So for example, you have just get an idea. So for example, line of work. Mom, what do you do, Doc? Tell them what you do. Can I have the mic? I know why you carrying the baby. It's what you do.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
Good.
I'm a teacher, I'm an educator, and I work with kids who have been kicked out of the regular school setting, and I try to help them be another one of my child. I want to show them the quickest way to finish with high school and then move them on to college. And that's my dream, that's what I want to do, and I love doing it.
That was her son who you guys heard earlier. Excellent. So like literally 10 seconds. Go ahead, Dave.
Basically what I do is, one of the things I do is I'm an insurance broker, national. Aside from that, I also work with schools that help them get funded for whatever their purposes are. And use this as one of the options for them to fund their services.
Real estate professional, dealing with commercial and residential property. We also do promotional and sound for major events throughout LA and the IE as well.
How you doing, family? So I used to work in the corporate sphere where I would work in healthcare. And so I help a lot of people in their homes, and in those situations, I work with caregivers. So now I'm actually having more free time to work with our family here, do real estate investing, and then also started doing some things on a speaking realm, and I've been working with a lot of schools in that area, so love the free time. I work ballet.
There you go. Excellent.
Good afternoon, family.
Good evening.
My name is Chet Kraft, and I used to be an engineering manager in the aerospace industry. We did things like first satellite that we did in this country, soft landing on the moon, things going out to Mars, Venus, and Saturn.
Outstanding.
My name is Joy. I work for a luxury cruise line.
Excellent. See, it's useful.
My name is Dayton Green, and I work executive collection, private guard services, and production security.
Well, my name is Stefan, and I'm an Uber driver.
Limo driver?
Uber driver.
Uber, cool. You met some great people in Uber. Excellent. Pass it on.
My name is Yvette. I'm a teacher.
Excellent. What do you teach?
Teach art.
Awesome.
My name is Guinevere, and I wax eyebrows.
Awesome.
Ooh.
We see you.
My name is Trisha, and I was a full-time student, and now I'm a nurse.
Awesome.
My name is Angelica. I am an actress by day and a receptionist also by day.
My name is Amara, and I'm a TV and movie actress.
My name is Mauro. I have one husband, I am a business, my business. I try to have
I'm Marcel. I'm a research and development industrial designer for Hasbro.
Over that. I'm just gonna skip. I got you. You'll get explored. You're going to ETL. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Amir Ilahi, and I'm a real estate professional and trainer.
Marketing manager for City of Hope.
I'm a promo producer.
Registered nurse.
A student for life.
Hi, my name's Flora, and I'm an actress and a high-profile nanny.
My name is Carl Thomas. I'm a recording artist and private security.
My name is Kenny Ferguson, and I'm a math student.
Well, I'm a skincare specialist.
What?
Skincare, facial.
Yeah.
I do facial.
I want to hear you. Pass it down to 11.
I did.
I want to hear it again.
Registered nurse.
Tutor and full-time student. Student prodigy, and son.
My name is Lindell. I'm a property manager, a veteran, and entrepreneur.
Annalise, I'm a probation officer with the Pageant
Creative executive at Lionsgate Entertainment.
So, what was the purpose of that? There's a key. Just understanding. There's a purpose behind everything that I do. I'm almost, why I was actually world champion in chess when I was in second grade. It's really due to the fact that I stayed 3 steps ahead. You want to know how to make money in this business? What I would do if it was my first 30 days, or if I'm starting all over again, and I've been in for a while and I'm not having success, I'm going to write this down. Master a 30-second elevator conversation. Master a 30-second elevator conversation. You need to create a conversation within 30 seconds that when somebody says, what is it or what you do, that totally enrolls that person. That's how business comes to you as opposed to you looking for business. Because if you say, well, what do you do? And the person says, the bottom line is you meet people all the time. And even if you aren't going out to meet people, when you actually go and attack your list and start talking to people, the first thing they're going to ask you is, so tell me about what this is. And you're going to be like, well, it's, was it network marketing? Is it MLM? Yeah. I don't know. Do you like MLM? Does anybody understand that conversation? See, when I first started, I'm going to tell you how literally when I first started in this business, I spent hours in front of what is called a vanity mirror. In my first 30 days, because I didn't have a coach. So what I did is we had a vanity mirror and a desk inside of my sister's closet. I closed the closet and sat in there for 3 days. I came out for food, drinks, whatever I had to. That's what I did. That's how I became a master of the conversation. I can't even remember what teacher taught me how to do that, but I'm telling you, it made my life so much easier. I was able to conquer this game in 30 days and no longer care what anybody else said. Because I wrote down, and I'd sit in front of the mirror and I wrote down literally every objection. See, most people, they get into the business and then they get out there and they start sharing the business and they hit walls and they hit bricks and people start cutting them down and having an opinion about what you're doing and is it network marketing? And my friend was in, Amway and Mary Kay and Noni Juice and, I got all kinds of stuff still on auto shipment from this, and they tried to get me for $5,000 on Kagan water and what kind of crap is this? Well, those things just don't work for me. How many people have heard that one? These things it's just not my personality. What's not your personality? Be able to wake up when you finish sleeping or to go shopping and not look at the price tag. What's not your personality? See, when you get in, I learned how to get in attitude and get angry before they got angry. Anybody understand that conversation? I had, and it was borderline arrogant to the point that it's like, so is it a pyramid? Do you like pyramids? No, then it's not a pyramid. Do you like pyramids? Yeah, I like pyramids. It's a pyramid. What is the hardest thing about this business is just write this down, getting people to see it. Once people see our opportunity, it sells itself. But if you can't overcome the objections that they come up with, just to have them have an open mind enough to look at it, you're killed before you even start, because you find yourself in long conversations explaining and being drained and dealing with negative mentalities. But it doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with network marketing. It has to do with anything with money, because people don't have no money, have an opinion about everything you do. People are worried about whether their friends like them or not. If I don't want my friends to see me as a salesperson. Here's the secret. Your friends either like you or don't like you already. But they don't talk about me. They're already talking about you. The friends that you have that you think are your friends that are talking about you, they already talking about you. The ones that are already supporting you, they don't care what you do. You could be a sanitation worker. They're going to be like, that's my man. They don't have an opinion if they truly love you. See, we call this the NFL, no friends, less coach. Our job is to get rid of all the people that aren't real friends, because true friends are going to support you no matter what you do. Is anybody getting that conversation?
Yes.
See, that's what I love. That was like a truth serum to me, to be able to get rid of all the people that were weighing me down, that were not contributing to my life. Because if you decide, just because I decide to become a doctor doesn't mean you need to become a doctor. Just because I decide to become an attorney or decide to do anything doesn't mean you need to do it. But what you do need to do is support what I do. And see, I have an attitude. You want to write that down. That's why we started with attitude. I have an attitude, because if you are not gonna pay for my dreams, pay my bills, and provide for my lifestyle, your opinion is not up for this. I invited you to make $1 million. You didn't invite me. Why are we having a conversation about your opinions? I don't have an opinion because you're an accountant. I could have one. Why are you counting everybody else's money and you still broke? I don't have an opinion because you're in real estate And you sell real estate, so you still sell real estate. You have not positioned yourself to buy. You're still renting. You're still selling. You're giving up your weekend for 3% on the weekends, on call, 24 hours. You give up your holidays, your weekends, and your nights for open houses. And you haven't positioned. You've been in real estate for 10 years, and you don't own 10 pieces of property. What are we talking about here? I don't do that. I'm not going to make somebody else wrong for who they are. Don't make me wrong for who I am. All I asked you to do was what? Support me. Is everybody getting that so far? Yes. Everybody has their own journey that they have to take. Our job is not to get everybody in our business. Our job is to be able to market a business that serves those that love us, support us, and you don't need a whole lot of people. That's what you need to understand. That's why I said negative energy travels 11 times faster than positive energy, because you can talk to one negative person and feel like, oh, I can't do this. How many people know what I'm talking about? One person will suck the life out of you. You were having a good day. I'm about to get rich. Talk to one person like, I ain't never doing this again. Anybody get that conversation? Yeah. Then here's the secret. No matter what path you choose, it's going to be hard. There is no easy path, just shorter passageways to where you want to go. So instead of 40 years, 40 hours of a week, of 40 years of your life, to retire on 40% of what wasn't enough in your first place, how many people don't mind working 3 years and never having to work another day in your life? I kind of like that conversation. So the teaching of duplication, why I said the one who has the fastest copy machine, there's 3 levels of learning how to be able to do this and teach somebody else. Because we're about to go into exactly all that I'm going to share with you. The first one is you have to be able to teach somebody and tell somebody what it is. That's what I'm about to share with you, what it is. Second, you have to be able to share with them how to do it. Don't just bring people in and drop them in the middle of the ocean and say, okay, now fend for yourself. You know how many leaders in this industry? I've trained 10 other multimillionaires outside of ACN, and I'm the recruiter. I bring them in, and I bring in thousands. I got all these people, and they're all failing. They're the only person making money until the bottom falls out. Mm-hmm. See, we have a philosophy within our organization, why I'm here and why this is live and what it is. Write this down. People don't care what you know unless they know that you care. People don't care what you know unless they know that you care. People will not quit on a friend, on somebody who knows you genuinely want to see that person succeed. When you just start looking at people like a dollar sign on their head, come on, get in. Like you said, just you got your customers yet? You in? Oh, you paid your money. Next. Yeah. Are y'all following me on that so far?
Yes.
Your greatest investment is going to be in your people. See, a lot of times we'll see somebody not show up and we'll get on them like, you got to be at the training. You got to be at the training. You don't know this person was just in a car accident. Or that this person just had a miscarriage. Or this person's mother is sick in the hospital. Is anybody understanding so far? I've seen so many leaders lose some great people because they didn't first ask, is everything okay? Before recommending them to try and get them in alignment with where they have to be. Is everybody understanding it so far? Yeah. So step 1 is I need to care about the people that I bring in. I am solely responsible. I have anybody I personally sponsor with, we end up more close than half of their family. We talk 3-4 times a day. I'm always available. When I personally sponsor somebody, we pretty much move in. We become Siamese twins. Does that make sense? Everybody with me on that so far? Because I know if I care for her and I do it properly, it's going to duplicate. She's going to do what I do. Write this down. People will do what you do, not what you say. People will do what you do, not what you say. We are in the people business. The reason why I went through having you guys state what you do is because, write this down, we are in relationship marketing. How many people know somebody who's a teacher? How many people know somebody that's a nurse? How many people know somebody who likes to travel? How many people know somebody that might be in entertainment? How about animation? I mean, we have all that. Just said somebody's a student. Somebody's a single mother. Somebody that speaks Spanish. You got all of that going on here. You got everything here, and if you get to know who's in your community and you move into the community, your community will expand whatever you do. That's why I specifically say this is not to take you away from what you love to do. This is to allow you to be able to do what you love doing because you love doing it, not because you have to do it. That's why we call it multiple streams of income, because if you have more than one bill hitting your bank account, you need more than one stream of income hitting your account. So step 1 is learning more than anything else, being able to tell them what it is. Part of that 30-second elevator conversation is mastering it. And I'm telling each leader in here, if you just take on 2 or 3 people on your team, and you sat down, and we sat down, what's your name, brother? Carlos. Me and Carlos sat down, and I said, Carlos, tell me about the business. Tell me about this business. Okay, to the best of your ability. You've been around it for a minute, just tell me to the best of your ability. So it's pretty much be their own boss. Now, Carlos, why would you do this business? You want to be your own boss, and you want to be able to write your own check. You want to be able to create your own hours. Stop using your muscles. So, Carlos, what we do is actually what I do is I show people how to position themselves where money is working for them and they aren't working for money. What I do is I show them how to be able to truly institute distribution and leverage that against hundreds of other people. It's the oldest wealth principle in the world, J. Paul Getty. He said, I prefer to have 1% of 100 people's efforts as opposed to 100% of my own. And what you just said sounded like everything that's the reason why I got into business. Relating. Is anybody getting this so far? Yeah. So it was just amazing that if I could build a team of 100 people for you, Carlos, and 99 of them worked 1 hour this week, your check would look like you went to work for 99 hours and you were in Bora Bora. Do you like the way that sounds? And every week they're following, if we build to a powerful team, they only have to go to work for 1 hour. And your check will still show up looking like you went to work for 99 hours that week. But you have to lead just a handful of people to duplicate that and build that. We're going to do that in less than 90 days. Will you give me 90 days to show you how you can do that? Is anybody getting that conversation? Yes. So I have to be able to relate to why he's doing the business. I have to tell him what it is in order to be able to relate to that. Second thing is, I got to tell him and show him how to do it. Write that down. Number 2 is how. Because I can get him all excited about a great 30-second conversation. And he's like, okay, that sounds really too good to be true to a degree. So how does that work? Now I'm going to go into the how. Is everybody with me on that so far? Yeah. Step 3 is got to tell him why we're doing it. So everything I'm going to have him do academically within the business, I got to tell him why he's doing it. Because it's like if I tell you to go to the store and you don't know why you're going to the store, you'll walk out of the store with 10 things that you didn't need. So a lot of people get into the business and they stick around for a month, 3 months, 6 months, never make any money and then quit. And it's because their why, write this down, your why has to make you cry. If your why doesn't make you cry, it's not big enough. Having a child, having a parent, having a wife, having children, being tired of working 40, 60 hours, not seeing your family. Your why has to be so deep that nothing could ever shake the roots of this tree that you're about to fertilize and grow. You have to decide before you actually do this business that I'm going to do the business, not that I'm going to get in the business. Too many people make the decision to get in the business, but they don't make the decision to do the business. Anybody get that distinction? Yeah. All right? So what I want to share with you now is the marketing plan so you understand the money and how the money is made. I'm going to share what has to take place, what this is in network marketing. Now, before I do that, 3 bullet points, not going to coach on it. I would become a student in 3 areas if I were going to do this business. If you want to become a master, because what we are creating is a movement. My goal in 7 days is to triple this room. Anybody want to play the game? You're going to override all of the work. I'm going to show you how powerful this is in less than 7 to 14 days. This room will be triple the size, and we're going to scare everybody in LA. Anybody want to play? Excellent. So, in this is the bonus plan. First, I want to go through the marketing plan. Let's go through the marketing before I show the bonus. Because that's going to make sense. I'm going to go through this real fast, but I'm going to keep repeating it every day throughout the week. I'm going to keep repeating this. Your job is to participate in as many junctions that I show up at. And you don't always have to show up physically. It could be in person or it could be online. Just until you get it. Because the more you see it, the more you're going to understand. Everybody with me on that so far? Yes. How we start with override? Okay, doesn't matter. Stick right there. So the first way, I'm going to go fast. That's why you record it. Everybody with me? Yes. First, let's simplify this before it looks like Greek. There's only 2 things we do. We help people save money and we help people make money. That's it. What do? I help people make money and I help people save money. Which one are you? Well, I don't want to do either. Great, then I can delete you from my phone. That makes it easy. Because if you know somebody who doesn't want to make money and they don't want to save money, get rid of them. That's not somebody you want to associate with. Does that make sense? Yeah. Keep it real simple. What do? We help people save money and we help people make money. As you start to understand it more, your conversation and your vocabulary will start to expand. Everybody got that? Yeah. But when people ask you, what do you do? If you have to tell them, when I told you to shut up in your first 30 days, then the maximum you can say is, I help people make money, I help people save money. And you'll be amazed. Be like, well, how do I make some money? Excellent. I got somebody who you need to meet. Get yourself out of the way. Let somebody else talk for you. Let somebody else talk for you. You want to make a lot of money? Put the phone to somebody else's ear and let them talk to somebody else, anybody other than you. I'm going to say that slow because that's probably the most powerful thing you'll get tonight. Shut up. Introduce somebody to somebody else and get out of the way. The one who can do that with the most amount of people over a short period of time of 30 to 60 days will make a whole lot of money. You need to find out who your upline TC is and make them work like a dog. Does that make sense? Yes. We were on the phone, Ruben, how many times yesterday? 12. At least 12. When I sponsor somebody, I want to talk every day, 12, 15 people. He's going to hear me talk to somebody who is young. He's going to hear me talk to somebody who's old. He's going to talk to me somebody who's very well-to-do. He's going to talk to me somebody who's rich. He's going to talk to me somebody who's still in college. He's going to talk to me somebody who's in animation. He's going to talk to me somebody who's an actress. He's going to talk to me somebody who already has network marketing experience. He's going to talk to me. How many guests do you have here today?
We're at 12.
12. How many guests do you have? This is his first 7 days. Don't tell me my system doesn't work. There are people who have been around for 3 months, still haven't had 5 people in a room. First 7 days. And we're just getting started. That's not even all the people we were at Denny's with 7, 8. How many people we have, Marcel? Like 8 people at Denny's. On a blast call with another 6. In between and around all of their careers. Just 3-way calls, blast calls. Let's go and meet at Denny's. Oh, what's a PBR? So I gotta have it at a house? I gotta have a whole lot of people? Denny's. Denny's. Starbucks. How much time did it take? We took, what, 30 minutes? 30 minutes a day, make your bills go away. Tell them, shut up, just put people in front of me, let's go eat, let's have some food, have some chicken, let's get out. Everybody got to eat, everybody got to have some coffee. Deuces. One by one, one by one, one by one. 7 days of work, boom, already positioned ETL. Got 2 other people will be ETL. In less than 2 weeks, we will have 3 ETLs breaking in his first 7 days of going into the business. Does it work? Well, he's old. That's it. He's Dr. Maxey. He's got 5 degrees. How old are you, Ruben?
23.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. But young people don't have no money. Yes, you're right, they don't. But the right ones are fine. Old people, they don't have no money. Guess what? The right ones are fine. My people are really busy. The right ones will make time. Anybody get this conversation? Yes. You came into the business, you're actually going to get 10% on every customer that you acquire. It says 1 to 10%. The first way you get paid is off of what you do. We teach you how to have a minimum of 20 services. A minimum of 20 services. Well, where are they coming from? Well, we've already exposed it to at least 40 people. What about the people that don't get in? What are they going to become? A customer. So he already has 20 people who aren't going to do the business, but love him and will support him and become a customer. His customers are already done. Everybody else is trying to sell it to their mama, and my sister and my cousin won't even try to service. Oh my God, do you see what Aunt Sally did? Are y'all following me on that so far? But if you expose it with why you're doing it, people understand your conviction and your commitment and want to support you because they're like, oh, you serious about this? The business isn't for me, but I will at least become a customer. Because we collapse the time frame of the time that they've seen it. First thing is what you do. You want to get at least 20 services. At least 20 services. That's where you're starting in your first 30 days or less. You turned it on to 2 people. It'll never work out like this. 1 person will quit, 1 person will blow up. Let's say hypothetically 2 people came into your business. Those 2 people came in. Let's just say, in theory, those 2 came in. They're going to get 10% on their own efforts because they're going to get 20 services. But in turn, you're going to get 1/4% on everything they do. Now, until you understand percentages, you'll never get paid. My mentor, who was a billionaire, said, until you understand percentages, you'll never understand $1 million. How much you getting paid off your friends' bills now anyway? Nothing. So 1/4% is a whole lot of money. Yes or yes? Yeah. Right? And this starts to mature itself all the way down, each two telling two on the first level, second level. So I told her, I'm gonna be you. This is my first level. She tells her, that's her second level. This is her third level. Is everybody with me on that so far? Fourth level, fifth level, sixth level, seventh level. So you may say, well, you know, Ruben's a special case. I just did the same thing in Australia on the phone with Skype. Never met her in my life. Never saw her face to face. And she was following my posts. Just got into the system 2 days ago. Got 3 people going to the national convention in less than 3 days and is qualifying herself today. And she has 5 more people coming to the meeting tonight, which I'll be talking to her 1 o'clock in the morning, which will be in the morning her time. And I've never seen her in my life. I think it works. See, I don't have to just work, but I'm not trying to get the people I know. The people you know will keep you broke. Yeah. Find people you don't know. It's a simple question. Well, how do you approach people you don't know? How you doing, man? Like I watch, love, and shoes. You want to make some money? Can you do that? Can you do that? Can you just say, you want to make some money? Yeah, you want to make some money. Do you want to make some money? You want to know why foreigners come over here and make millions of dollars? Because they only know how to say it. Would you like to make some money? What is it? You need to talk to her. And get the hell out the way! They can't mess it up because they don't know anything else to say. Us, you want to overthink it. You want to have a whole lot of conversations. That's why 65% of the multimillionaires in this country are from another country, because they only follow this. All they know what to do and what to say is, do you want to make some money? Yeah, well, what is it? Ha! You need to talk to her. You think I'm joking?
No,
I'm dead serious. And they get rich. I can introduce you to 5 people that have done just that and position themselves with a board of directors of just finding somebody. Hell yeah, I want to make some money. What is it exactly? Do we need to talk to her? That's all they do. I can go, I want to go into Korea. I go to Koreatown. All of them own a business. I want Jewish people. I go up to Pico in La Brea. They're all walking around with hats. We go into Israel, trust me. You're in California. Do you understand you can reach the entire world from here? Everywhere. You don't have to go anywhere. Right here. You can get paid in every currency and never leave your house. Is anybody excited about that conversation? Two people telling 2 people. They all acquire 20 services, and you make $11,000 a month. It takes 90 days before you get your first check. If I acquire him as a customer, first he has to use the service, then he's going to pay his bill, then I, being you, are going to get a check. My first check was only $22. But do you mind getting a $22 check that a year later is $22,000? Yes. And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and goes down and goes back up and goes back up. And you can't stop it once it starts. You can't stop it. You cannot stop it. Anybody with that problem? Yeah. But you got to start before anybody else will. This is residual income. Every level you go down, it just gets bigger and bigger. $40 variable. I don't know anybody with a $40 electricity bill, gas bill, cell bill. 2 people acquiring 20 services. 15 of them could be in your own household, or find somebody who has a big family. You just have to, before you leave here, I just need 10 people who say, I want to get rich and we're going to work like hell for 14 days. I just need 10 of y'all. Before you leave, I need you to come up and say, I'm the one, 14 days, whatever you tell me. I don't care, whatever, just make sure that you don't lie to me. Just 10 people. I don't need all y'all. I just need 10. 10. Anybody getting this conversation? Yeah. Blow it up. I'll give you a strategy, tell you exactly what it's going to take. The price for success is paid for in full upfront. There's no layaway plan. This is residual income. Next. Next. Second part of the plan is now money. What I just shared with you was residual money. Next. This is your now money. Boom. You want to hit ETT within 7 days. How does that look? Next. Next. Doesn't have pictures. There we go. Next. Next. So, you need 2 people on your board of directors being ETT. If you have 20, is it 20 points, family, for the 500? Right? 15? So if you have 15 points, remember points are equivalent to customers. Everybody with me on that so far? I'm speeding up. Are you guys with me? Because I want to get to the meat. Yes? Yes. Okay. So if you have 15 points, which will be explained in a second, and you have 2 business partners, you're an ETT. We want to walk more ETTs. I have a goal of breaking 20 ETTs by the 2nd of September. That's my goal. 20 people in here, brand new people that want to be at least ETT and get 100% of their money back. Now, by going ETL next, by having 2 ETTs underneath you, you're now an ETL. By having, is it 20 points, family?
15.
No, for the bonus. Still 15? God, y'all are lucky. So by having just really about 6 to 7 services and having 2 people you've helped get 100% of their money back, they send you a check for $2,000 the next week. So all I need, if I'm working with Gwen, is 2 people that want to get paid yesterday. Work with those 2 people, help them go ETT. She gets $2,000. They see the $2,000. They've already made their $500. They say, so all I need is 2 more people and I get another $1,500 check next week. So you're telling me in less than 2 weeks, I can get a 400% return on my money? What would happen if each of you got a $2,000 check on Monday? I wouldn't have to tell you to show up tomorrow night, choose Wednesday. You'd be like, okay, what time is work? Especially if you can make $2,000 a week. Yes or yes?
Yes.
These are the only 2 positions I want you to understand, but this is the position, if you're serious, that we start tomorrow night with what is called Midnight Madness. You have to be an ETT with 20 points to be in the Midnight Madness, and that takes you to Speed Racer's race to this position. This position, the average person is making about $15,000 a month. 10 to 20 that is in production. $10,000 to $20,000 consistently, and I'm looking for the person who wants to go there in 90 days or less in this room. Those are the 10 that need to find me. If you are not willing to like really go beyond the call, because the bigger you want your check, the more work there is. So I'm not going to give you the foo-foo conversation and be like, oh, it's easy, everybody can do that. No, everybody can do that. Everybody's not going to do it. That takes work. Doesn't mean you quit your job. It means you work in, like what Ruben is doing. I got an audition. Okay, I'm going to bring my people down to Palm Springs at 8 o'clock. I'm going to go to my meeting back in LA at 10 o'clock. I'm going to come back and pick them up at 12 o'clock, and I will bring them back because they don't have a drive, a ride. That's a leader. Is everybody fine? And you know what, Mr. Nelson, I already have my team logo and I already have a website for my team. I know I'm not even starting yet, but I have everybody that's been exposed in my business. They're already in my group. All you have to do is post here. That's a lead. I've already sent each one of them videos. They understand who you are and what's going on. You've been edified. I'm not going to waste your time. I'm only going to put you on the phone with somebody who is completely hungry. That's a lead. Not somebody who's scared of their own shadow saying, I'm doing this. Are y'all following me on that so far? Okay? But somebody who wants to go TC in 60 days or less, you tell me, would it be worth it to be able to make 10 grand a month in under 90 days?
Yes.
Now all the people that told you it's a pyramid, what are you saying? Yeah, it is. It's a pyramid. $10,000 pyramid per month. Deuces. Are y'all following me on that so far? So how do you raise somebody's belief? Write this down. How do I raise somebody's belief system and get them a check? 2 things. Family, keep me on track. 7 minutes. I want to show you this real quick. Man, are we there? So, get that up. Thank you. Got it? So this is your website. This is our back office. Once you get in, you can go here and look up opportunities, success stories, company, news, service. I don't have time for all this. You go into your own, you get your own business ID number and your own password. This is how I work a laptop from anywhere in the world that I choose. You click on submit, it lets you in. You go into my business. When a person first gets started, all your questions are right here. New team trainer start right here. This tells you everything. If I didn't even have an upline, this thing is so bomb, you wouldn't even need an upline because it's just a complete navigation system, a GPS to the other side of money. This is a multi-million-dollar site, updated 3 times a day. 3,000 employees that work for you for $500, and you never have to pay payroll. It doesn't get any better than that. You sit up there and click on Team Trainer Start here, all the documents you need to be able to understand. You want to understand the compensation plan, make a decision, the how-to comes afterwards. You want the how-to before, and the decision will never be made. That's why I said find people that know how to make a decision. And whatever their decision is the right decision. I don't think I could do this, neither do I. I think I could do this. I know you can. Did that make sense? You go into my business, everything you want to know about your business, personal customers, when they're entered, how much their billing is, what the products and services are, anything you want to know about being able to renew your thing. Your downline report. If I click on this, I own 5 positions in this company. This one I actually have with my son. So I have this site that I'm showing you. So I own 5. This is the second largest one. This one, when my son was born, I created a corporation called Next World Development. Because I wanted to build what? The next world for my son. Anybody with me on that, yes?
Yes.
In that, over here, he only has 15 points. That's about 4 services. But he's getting paid on 1,148,000 customers. I don't know if it works. People ask me today, does it work? I'm like, I don't know. I just haven't in 19 years. I mean, that's more customers than some utility and telecom companies have just in one of my 5 positions. Over 1 million customers, ladies and gentlemen. It grows by an extra, literally 3,000 to 4,000 customers every 24 hours without me. How many people like to have a business that grows 3,000 customers a day and you in Bora Bora?
Yes.
And then you can go back here and you can actually see, you know, everything that you want to know here as far as your earnings, how much money you're making. So let's go here, and I've actually highlighted, is money high and low? It doesn't really matter. I just put a month of income in there just so people say, well, I don't know if he's really making any money. I don't know. This is for my 15-year-old son, so I don't know if I'm making any. So let's just calculate 1 month. Let's see here. December 4th to about January 8th, that's 7,000 plus 17, that's 24 plus 7, that's what's that, 70, 31, 31, 32, 32 with the change, right? So the cherry split, you're 33, but then take back 5, we're going to the math. So now we have 37, right? 37 with the 5 plus the change, that puts you at 37, 38, plus the other change up there puts you at 39, plus that 1 puts you at 39, that puts you at 40, plus the 19, that puts you at 69, right? So that's, 59, 59, take back the 1, right? So we have 59 plus 4, that puts you at 63, plus that change puts you at 65? I don't know. I don't know if it makes any money, $65,000 a month off of this little phone thing. This little penny percentage thing that people want to sit up there and have 1,000 questions about. And then you'll find out the ones who have the most questions are the brokest people you deal with. They're the ones who have all the questions. What about this? What about that? What about you just get in? If you're Steve Jobs and you created Apple, how are you really going to entertain a stupid conversation? Are you guys following me on that so far? Now, you want to know the beautiful thing about what I just shared with you? I can't make $1 unless I find somebody else to make 10. The hardest part of my business is just finding somebody who's smart enough to shut up and let me coach them and make them a lot of money. And that's when you start building 5-star generals. Everybody with me? Yes or yes? Yes. We're about to shift here. Everybody with me? Yes. Turn this off right here. We're good? So, as I bring up the next person, here's what I need you to write down. Everything is done by a system. Write down system. Save yourself time, energy, and money. Time, energy, and money. Because the break took longer, and because we took longer, this is the serious crew. I'm going to just let you know. It's going to be an hour. She might be able to do it done in 45 minutes. When I come back up, I'm not training. I'm going to give you bullet points and a schedule of events for the next 7 days for you to make a whole lot of money and use me like a dish rack. So this is the next. So if you mentally can't handle 45 minutes, if you need to sneak out, just move to the back so that you don't interrupt anybody. Everybody with me on that so far? Yeah. System, write that down. System stands for save yourself time, energy, and money. Save yourself time, energy, and money. The most important part of the skeleton of the system is, number 1, is to get qualified. When a person first apps up and puts their money in the system, their first action plan is to, what kind of company are we? A customer what? Acquisition company. So a store, each person that gets started in the business is like a store. So a store with no customers makes no money. So my job is to sit down with him, show him how to acquire a minimum of 3 to 5 services within his first 24 hours. If it takes a person past 5 days to get qualified, one of 2 things will happen. Either number 1, if I have my radar on, I'm getting them their money back. Number 2, if in turn they don't get qualified within 5 days and they're still on the system, I probably won't work with them for another 120 days to 6 months. I'll say, hi, we have nothing to talk about. They killed the system and they didn't follow anything that we gave them. Did that make sense to everybody? Yes. 5 days maximum. If you want to get my attention, you'll do it in 48 hours. And we aren't going to tell you what to do. We're going to help you. We're going to assign a leader and sit down and walk you through it, so that you aren't doing it by yourself. So we aren't just telling you and throwing you out there in the water. Everybody with me on that? So qualified, write that down. The most important measurement of do we work with that person. The second thing is a PVR. Just write that down. That's going to play in. I'm going to send you all the information on a PVR at the end when I give you 5 bullet points to close up in 5 minutes. The third thing is a national convention. Write that down. QPN, National Convention, is coming up on September 11th, 12th, and 13th in Charlotte, North Carolina. If you had to choose between getting in the business today and going to a national convention, I tell you go to the national convention. Because you can't work a business unless you have a belief system. Until you understand and know that you're in the right place, and this convention is going to be so ridiculous. If you like having fun and making money, and you want to change your life, and you like memories and historical moments in your life, I'm telling you, this will change your life forever. And I promise you, if it does not change your life, and you already are excited sitting in this room, whatever price tag it took you to get there, I'll double your money, give it back to you, and you never have to tell me why. That's how sure I am of why you need to go to Charlotte. Because when I first heard it, I was like, where am I going? Baltimore? I don't even know nobody in Baltimore. I don't even like nobody in Baltimore. He said, you need to be in Baltimore. I was like, all right, I'm going to take a faith walk. I'm going to go to Baltimore. 20 years later, I've never missed a national convention in my life, nor has any other vice president making millions of dollars in this opportunity. That's all I'm going to tell you. It separates the leaders and the followers, the excuses and the doers. Does that make sense to everybody? Yes. So the most important thing I need you to understand now is products, customers, how to acquire these customers. And let me tell you, the woman who I'm going to bring in front of the room, because 80% of you guys are brand new, she's not your normal person. She's weird, like me. She's abnormal. She's not here for applause or to be pat on the back or for approval. And I'm going to tell you, in 20 years of doing this business, I know every top money earner in the industry, considering I helped create the marketing plan for Visalis, Body by V. I was one of the people that helped create that marketing plan. So you'll be able to do all your due diligence on it. So when I put somebody up here in place of me, they have to be as good or better than me in a specific area. This woman has single-handedly acquired over 200 customers in 1 week by herself. I'm telling you to get 20. She's gotten 200 by herself in 1 week. Do you think she's equipped to teach you about customers? Yes. And you guys are so blessed to get 100% of her because of where we are. It's just one of those perfect storms. So I want you guys, don't stand up, but I want you to just give her the biggest round of applause. She is all that in a bag of chips. I could talk to her about her for the next 20 years. Miss Erica Yancey takes really good notes. Everybody with me, yes? Really good notes on customer acquisition, because that's what's going to build your 100,000 a month in digital income. Thank you very much. Come on up there. You got a mic? You good?
Yeah. Awesome. I think it works. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you this evening?
Awesome.
I'm so excited to tell you something so extraordinary. So I'm gonna kind of direct you to when to flip your pages, because it's important that you separate some of the information, because the customer acquisition piece, write this down, is the lifeblood of the company. When Mr. Nelson said that a store with no customers makes no money, you're the store. And if you have no customers, it's just shameful. Because the 3 laws in Matrix is, you know what they are? We don't work for free. We don't work for free, and we don't work for free. So, I'm going to use this little stand right here. I want to no, I can't.
That was me. That was me.
Oh, that was you. Okay. So we're going to start with the intro. The best of the best companies in the entire planet are the best because they have the greatest. You know what that is? Customer service. So you being a store, you just absolutely have to know.
I'll just put that up.
Thank you. You just have to absolutely, oh, you know what? Let me pause for a second. Didn't Mr. Nelson do a phenomenal job? So, what I'm telling you this evening is, this is the magic wand. Because once you know how to get someone qualified, and we're just gonna stay focused on 3 services and how to get you qualified if you're not, how to get your people qualified. Once you duplicate that and you have an understanding, please know that even the simplest minded person know that you don't know what you're doing if you can't help them get their first couple customers. And guess what? You put them in a wheelchair when you do that, because then they're gonna do the same thing throughout your whole entire organization. So, here we go. I'm gonna take my notes so we can get out of here quickly. Let me give you all some. Okay. So, in this business, this is your meditation. A store with no customers makes no money. You have to really put that in your soul. And there's things that you have to think about before you start doing it. It's the same thing that Mr. Nelson does. We operate in the same way. You have to think about when you have successful customers, before we jump into it, think about when you had that success, go back and think about how you felt, what you were thinking about, all of that, because all of that is a part of the magic. What I'm thinking about is closing my eyes and picturing me entering them in the system. Because nothing is more powerful than being entered in the system. They don't count if they're not in the system. And they don't count if they're not shown on your screen. So briefly, when I first started the business with Mr. Nelson, he said, I need you to have 20. I thought he was crazy, but I didn't know that what I did was special. Because I was like, I need to prove to him. I need you to have 20 customers tomorrow, yesterday, and I need you to be ETT within 24 to 48 hours. The funny thing is, if you say something ridiculously retarded to somebody who don't know that it's retarded and they believe in you, they just do it. So I didn't go to sleep for 24 hours and I just drank coffee, and even when the devil tried to attack me and my phone battery swole up on me, I went to the library and had the nerve to talk to people in the library. So let's just make sure you understand that my belief system was right. I knew he was who he's supposed to be. So you need to be who you need to be. This is all a part of magic. If you don't know anything else, in your first 14 days, just know this. Entering your IBO address in the system as their grandmother, their mother, their cousin, their sister, their uncle, any of that. Because you know what? When you don't get someone qualified, you actually help them have their first just disappointment. The people that are here, you know how people feel when they can't get qualified. That don't exist to me. You gotta find a way to make a way or be shown a way.
Just real quick so that you guys understand, because there's a lot of new people in here. You can write it down. IBO stands for Independent Business Owner. Once you get started in the business, you're given your own ID number that allows you to acquire new customers and new representatives. And every time you acquire a customer, what she's talking about is you have to use an ID number, so you aren't using your social security number, and so you aren't using your tax ID number. It also identifies you to be able to go into your website wherever you are, which I showed on the front page. So when we use acronyms, I just want to make sure no new person gets lost in that IBO, or if you will, your team ID number is what we use almost like a pass, you know, like your passport to get into everything that we do. Is everybody with me?
Yes.
Excellent.
So, I want you to take these notes. Your script is real important. Because you're recording me, I want you to stop your tape recorders right now. Because what you say on the phone with somebody and how you say it is going to determine the difference of whether it goes down for you. Give you about 20 more seconds.
Shancy, can you move over here, because it's kind of dark over there.
Oh, you can't see my face. You can't see the light. Okay, I got the halo on. Okay. So the script. Did we all start our recorders? Yes? Did I give you enough time? Start them and now start it. Your bullet points are customer service, product knowledge, tracking, maintenance, referrals, and language. Those are just bullet points because you're going to understand it as I go through it, because I have to do it quickly. So you have to go back and listen. In your bullet points, the most important one is customer service. Next would be language. Even if you get anything else wrong, they don't know. So in your script, let me give you an example. is we're going to concentrate on 3 services. We're only going to talk about 3 services. We're going to talk about satellite, and we're going to talk about flash wireless, and we're going to talk about home phone. Getting qualified, those are the zingers. Those are the low-hanging fruit. You will win because there's not much to know about them, but they're the most common. In your script, I'm going to read my script to you. I just did an example. It varies with each person, but it's right here. This is the meat I really don't go too far away from because it works. Hey, Cynthia, how are you? Okay. Hey, Stan, how are you? Fantastic. I'm amazing. I'm glad that you're doing well. Do you have about 10 minutes?
Not right now.
I'm gonna say no. For the sake of time. I'll tell you what you're going to do next when they say no. But for the sake of time, he just say yes. The most important thing in the very beginning of your phone conversation, don't you ever forget, do you have 10 minutes? Because if you get all excited and you get fired up and you start talking and you start rolling, I promise you, on everything, they're going to say, you know what? Because they're going to make a quick snapshot. This is not important to me. And you haven't even got out the best part. So when someone interrupts you during that 10 minutes, then you're just going to say, you know what? I asked you for 10 minutes and I've only used 2. I'll be done in a few minutes. Smiling, happy. So first off, I'm just so excited. Now I'm inserting my excitement. Now that I've got the time down, and right now is your excitement because you won't get anywhere else if you don't get right here. I'm so excited, I don't know what to do. I'm just jacked out of my mind. Let me tell you why. Woo! If I have to do a jumping jack, if you need to make it real, before you get on, you need to make it real. So first, I'm having this extraordinary grand opening for this business that is so incredible that I just started. I'm around such amazing people. You know how I am. This is, if they know what your why is, you already know my reason why is that my daughter is sick, or you already know blah, blah, blah. Lori's seasoning salt, ladies and gentlemen, it's the best one. It only works when you sprinkle it in the beginning, the middle, and the end. Because if you dump everything in the very beginning, it's nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you got to remember you can't just throw your why on them all the way. It's just the sprinkle at first. You're just opening them up and you say, you already know that this is what I want to do. And if they don't know, listen, you don't know, but I'm going to. Be definitive. I'm going to. This is what I'm doing. I'm starting a beauty college. And it just means so much to me. Like, you got to get in your moment. You got to make it real. It means so much to me. Really. And you know what? I know how much I mean to you. So I need your help. And Mr. Nelson always say things in 3s. I make sure that when I say help, that it's kind of like a programming. So when I say I need your help, I help people save money on a bill that creates residual income for myself. Now wait, I'm only saying that to family. Y'all have time to rewind this because it's different types of glitches. This is important. They need to know that. This is residual income from my family so I can take care of my family. Your sister, my mother, drop little glitches in there. And I said, I'm talking to you about a bill that you can never pay off. And auntie, you know what? I am certain that if you have residual bills, that you should have residual income. I know that you're the type of person that love your job and you could never see yourself doing. I'm giving you variations, some strong variations. Because some people in their mind, they're shutting down because they don't want to be an entrepreneur. Some people can't get as excited. So you say, I know that you love what you do and I do what I do, but I'm so excited about it. You have to say that a couple times to make it real, how excited you are. I need you to help me. Help you. Help me. I just said help 3 times. I'm going to help you. I'm going to explain a bit. I'm going to help you save 30, 40 to 50% on a bill. Again, auntie or uncle or friend that can never ever be paid off. And secondly, and you got to sort, because if you know people love people, this is one of your gunshots. Secondly, I know how you care about people. And I get that from you. Or, I say something that's authentic there. Because right now, I'm putting some glue on you right now. And this right now, You save 30, 40, 50% on a bill that could never be paid off, and, oh, you're gonna love this one. You help feed a hungry child every single time. Every time you pay that bill, you help feed a hungry child. And then I explain just a little bit more. I say, I am auntie like Expedia or Costco or something like that. I'm like that. So, but the difference is, auntie, you gonna get the red carpet treatment with me. I'm gonna treat you right because you're my family. But I gotta deal with you first. And you know what? This right here is the bomb. When you say, now, I need your help, but you're already helping me by giving me this 10 minutes. You don't know how much this means to me. You tell them again. And then I say, because I'm gonna give you the red carpet treatment, and anybody that you send me, I'm preparing her for a referral letter. And anybody that you send me, I'm gonna need you to send me people, but I'm explaining this to you because I know that you'll never send anybody to me. That's what you all need to understand. If you don't prep a person like this, care how much they love you, they'll never send you a referral if they don't know that they understand that they're sending Tammy to do something that you understand. So then I say, after I talk about feeding a hungry child, I say every single month, when you help me, and I notice how I'm kind of repeating myself, but the average person, you have to repeat yourself. Every month when you pay and save on your bill, you help me with my dream. You help me stay home more with my son. You help me build my studio. You help me do this, that. You have to insert whatever it is that you do. You're sprinkling the why again. That's layer 2. Then, after you do all of that, everyone in this room that's ever worked with me knows that I don't ask. I just go right into it and I say, listen, now that I got your attention, don't you think I got their attention by now?
Yes.
Now go real fast. Okay, so who do you have for local long distance? Oh, I have AT&T, okay, how much are you paying them? Who do you have for internet? Okay, how much are you paying them? Who do you have for TV? Okay, how much are you paying them? How many rooms do you have? Do you have a DVR? Okay. Is it HD? Okay. And I do this on a piece of paper. I write down phone, satellite, internet, wireless, CPU, home service. I write all our categories down, and then I split a box, and in the top of the box, I write what they currently have. In the bottom, I'm gonna write what I'm gonna suggest to you. And I use words like suggest and recommend constantly, because I'm the professional, right? That's what I suggest, so that I can take care of you. I recommend. That's care. They feel like you care, because they're like, okay, she's not trying to force me, but she's moving me. Okay. So in the phone box, here are your questions. This is the best part, because what I realize when I do this training is I go by so fast that I don't tell you exactly every single question that I ask them in the box. So in the first box for local long distance, I say, who's your provider? Okay. How much are you paying them? In the satellite TV box, I say, who's your provider? What is you and your husband's favorite channels? Or if it's flip spouse, you and your wife. I'm taking care of you again, because if I pick all your favorite channels and your husband comes home and his channels are not on there, it's a problem. So I say, so I want to make sure that I take care of you and your husband. I want to make sure you both are happy. Okay? I insert those little things. How many rooms do you have? Do you have a DVR? Do you have HD? Do you have a contract? Do you know how many months you have left on that contract? How much are you paying? Internet. Do you know what your MPBS speed is? That's your
megabits per second.
Exactly. Yeah. So then you say, if they say, well, I don't know. Well, we have to find out, because I don't ever want you to be downgraded unintentionally. So if I just do something with you and you have 50 megabits per second and I give you 20, you're going to think my service is bad. So I make a note. We got to find that out. Because I'm going to tell her when I get done with my quote that I'm going to have her call and find out. And we can't finish this quote until you find out, because I have to make sure that I take care of you. And then on the wireless, who's your provider? How many lines do you have? Do you have unlimited data?
How much are you paying? Do you have a contract? I don't know if I have a contract is the key question. America, Lord have mercy. I don't know if I have a contract. I don't know if it's done yet. This stuff that I'm telling you is like serious. Because if you get excited and you switch someone's phone and you didn't talk to them about their contract, it's gonna go real bad for you. So I'm gonna give you an example. They have 14 months left on their contract. I'm gonna start talking faster. They have 14 months left on their contract. I already know that the contract now is at about, you split it in half, it's 300 when it starts. And Verizon's 350. So if I split that in half, I know there's gonna be around 140, 150. Okay, how many lines do you have? Oh, you have 2 lines and you're paying, oh, you have 1 line. This is the kicker. 1 line always costs more. Oh, you have 1 line and you're paying $140, or you have 2 lines and you're paying $200 and something. Oh my goodness, I'm getting excited. This is, I'm building them up to a climax because this has to work. I need you to pick something. So I'm like, oh my goodness, you're gonna love this. Still don't tell them what they're gonna love. I'll write down that if they have 1 line that is $49. We're dealing with Sprint, and then I write down it's $99. And she's like, oh, I'm gonna love it, you're gonna love this. I'm just getting it pulled together for you. Okay, so do you have computer support? Do you have this, do you have that? I go through each category. Home security, what provider do you have? The contract, how much? The fear of loss, if they say they don't and they're not looking, this is my fear of loss that I insert. Man, you should really check out Google because 85% of all break-ins, it's a fact, happens right through the front door. And I always insert a real experience somewhere in each box. So the lady across the street from me, someone broke into their home and they were upset with me because the man was only on their porch for a few seconds, long enough to use the key. Our thieves are real good now. They just go right in like the porch for 30 seconds. Really? So, you know, it's a lot of different things. As far as energy, I'm telling you how to do the quote, and then I'm going to go and just run through the 3 services really quickly, and I'll be finished. And I feel like that's enough to make you really potent and put some bullets in your gun. So as far as energy, you just go down. This is important. We're not going over energy, but I'm telling you what to ask them on your quote. On energy, with gas is therms. That's how they measure. How many? How many therms have you used? What does it say on your bill? And then for the electricity, what does it say for your kilowatt hours? It says kWh. Once I find out how many kilowatt hours they use, how many therms they use, I already went online, ladies and gentlemen, go to Google, type in the month, September 2015, therm rate SoCal gas. It'll tell you. And they think I'm a magician because what I say is, I need you to get your bill for you because I already know what your rate is. Your rate is such and such. It is. Yeah, and so is everyone else's in Southern California. I just want you to know that I know myself. So you're already using these amount of therms, and this is what's going to happen. You know, so then I go down the list and I say, I just tell them about the fixed rate. I use an example of colder states. I'm from a colder state. I have a great one. $400 and $500 bills, all of that. I need you, this is the last thing in this category, and this is the last part of the quote. I need you to be an excellent director of traffic. So most people get stuck when they say, well, I can't find my meter number. I promise you, you're all are going to think about me because the meter number is so small and it's underneath current charges. So I want you to say, I want you to look at the top of your bill, and I need your account number at the top of the bill, and I want you to look underneath current charges and give me your meter number. So that's how you do a quote, and this is how I write it out. You get a book. That's how you make it work. You put their name, address, phone number, what they got, because I guarantee you, if you do what I just did, they're going to call you back again for something, or you're going to call them back to get your referrals, and they're impressed when they don't have to give you all this again. Okay. Almost done. Lastly, the 3 services that we're going to focus on that are the low-hanging fruit, that are really easy, is the satellite, the local long distance, and the cell phone service, flash wireless. Let me break that down to you real quick, how that works. Satellite, the difference, how you serve somebody is so important because if you sign someone up with Dish Network and they don't have a specific channel, you're going to be channel-based. And when you look at DirecTV, it's so simple. Live in the extra package. Because everybody on this earth, unless they say the key word, I never watch TV, I just need to have it. Just in case I want to watch it sometimes. my kids. You know, you get that a lot, my kids. I don't want to make my kids suffer. You're going to give them any package that's under the extra package, and it's not going to matter. Now, if they say, I love Oprah, I love TV One, I love the NBA TV channel. If they say DIY TV, do it yourself, men love that channel. Home and Garden. They say any of those is automatic extra package. Everything else surrounds it. So you live there, so you quote there, that's $35. I'm moving fast, so I don't really have to tell you that's what it costs, but that's what it costs. $35 for the extra package. When you talk to someone about the DVR recorder, Mr. Nelson, how many more minutes do I have? What time is it now? 10:29. I have about 5 more minutes. Okay. So when you talk to them, this is very important since I'm telling you we're concentrating on free services. It's very quick. The DVR, for however many rooms that they pick, the DVR is in every room. So if they select 3 TVs, the price does not change. From 1 or 3 or 5, it's still $15 whole home DVR. You have to know to tell them that they're going to get direct cinema, which is like Netflix on steroids. You have to be able to tell them that the Genie is wirelessly working. You're just baiting them. You're going to get HBO, Showtime, Cinemax, and Stars free for the first 3 months. After that, if you decide to keep one, it's going to be $12. If that one that you decide to keep is HBO, it's going to be $15. If you decide to keep 2, it's going to be $22. If you decide to keep all 4, it's going to be $45. You tell them that and you let them know so that they can call in their first month because it bills a month in advance. So that's going to hit them in the second month on their bill. Okay, it's the best part right here because I'm just giving you the basics. The best part is that there's a referral system attached to DirecTV where you can have up to 10 people. Each person that you sign up to 10 people, you get $10 off for 10 months. So I have a cousin who, I signed up his service. He turned around and got me 3 the next day, and then his wife turned around and got me 4. So they had 7 before I left Georgia on a trip. Then I ended up helping them out, and then they ended up just having 10. I signed them up last August, ladies and gentlemen. Their first bill is not due until until October, they told me. And I signed them up last August because if their bill is only $50 and they're getting a $100 credit, every month they're getting a $50 credit for 10 months. It's still working. The credit is still going. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
But the catch is that every time, if she's my cousin and I sign her up and she brings me him, then somebody has to call and give the referral number for the original account. So with my cousin, I played his wife. I'm Tracy. Hi, okay, I'm Tracy. I want to add on Tina. This is the referral number. This is the account number. You need the account number of the person that you signed up to add to the basic account. But I think that's brilliant because that's the reward out of this world. So that right there, really easy. And online, I'm going to give you this very strong Uzi shot. Do not sign your customers up online with DirecTV if you have not been in the business past 60 days and you do not have more than at least 20 customer points. Because it's so much that you can't tell your customer that it's unfair. Because it's just a quick process. You can't even select insurance. You're just going to use it as a qualifying tool if their credit goes through. If their credit goes through, you're just going to call and give that phone number. It's already in the system. You can proceed with the order. Okay. Flash Wireless. Flash Wireless is one of the easiest things that you can get. You can get up to 6 lines for $99 with Sprint. With Verizon, first with Sprint, it's $49. Slow that down so you can get that on your tape. $49 for one phone, $99 for all the way up to the 6th one. Then Verizon is $59, and then it goes to $95 in the family plan. Every phone after that, $15. But as an example, I have a cousin that had 3 phones with Verizon that was paying $350. But me putting her on the 3 plan with Verizon with us, it's like 105 or something like that, 105 or 110. And instead of now her having to play with 10 gigs for the whole family, you get 20 gigs for the whole family. So That referral system, you have to bring up to that person immediately. I get them really hyped. I tell them immediately while they're excited, I need you to go and find me some customers to help you. Because their bill is free and also your bill is free. A lot of people run through stuff they don't. You have to drive the Striper 5 home. And you have to be careful of that you're paying attention and telling your customer about the rewards. So many people get the bundle with Dish Network, TV, and phone, and then they forget to go fill out the $300 rewards card, or they'll miss the date to send it in. How about you have great customer service and set a Google reminder or something and remind your customer, because the happier they are, the more customers they're gonna send. And then the eBay tip. The eBay tip for the phones is that you can go onto eBay, ebay.com, put in Sprint, whatever the carrier is, Sprint or Verizon, and then you put the phone you want, Samsung, iPhone 5, Sprint, iPhone 5, and then you have to click buy it now or you will become frustrated. Ladies and gentlemen, the prices that you can get these phones for are outstanding, and all you have to do is just look at the quality of the phone, whether it says mint, good, or excellent, because the phone will be like brand new. And there's something called a square trade insurance that you click on, and it's better than any of our insurance carriers' insurance plan, because you only pay it one time. You don't pay it every single month. Okay, you know, if you pay $13 every single month, you pay it that one time.
What about unlocked phones? Will they work on our system?
They will.
They will.
If they're unlocked.
Okay.
Lastly, the last service, Flash Wireless. Did I get that?
Yes.
Okay, I did that. And then on the home phone service, a very good one is that most people don't really know a lot about their own stuff. You have to go into it already knowing that. With the home phone service, if they are not sure whether they have a regular old school they call copper line that plugs into the wall with a little clear lip, you tell them to walk up to the wall and pull it out of the wall. And if it comes out, okay, that's what you have. If you want another way to figure out whether they have digital, because most things are digital, write this down and also listen back to the tape. All of these companies can do nothing but provide you digital phone service, which is Cox, Charter, Time Warner, AT&T Uverse, Verizon Fios. Be careful that you hear me when I say AT&T Uverse, because the regular AT&T is copper. The regular Verizon is copper, but Verizon Fios is digital. So I'm thinking fast. So on the home phone service, it's a very simple conversation when it comes to the copper. I really don't take no for an answer. I'm like Devo or something when it comes to that. I get really excited because this is the plan. And this is how I talk to them. I don't ask them anything, and I show that I'm frustrated because this is the plan. You are my aunt. You know what I'm doing. I go back to the script. But I need you to try my service for 30 days. I don't care if you like this. I don't even care if you're uncomfortable, because it's not a contract. You're gonna try my service out for 30 days. If I promise you, you have my word. If you do not like the way your dial tone sounds in 30 days, call me. And you're not even gonna have to waste your time. I will call AT&T myself. You just tell me that you don't like your dial tone, I'll call them myself and switch it back. I don't care what you do after 30 days. I need your help today, right now. And if they say no and they're too close to me, I'll call them back again later on that day. Didn't we just talk about this? I was wrong. Because I didn't tell you that it is not just about whatever savings that you have. This is about me. This is about this is the one you can go in hard on, because there is nothing. There's no interruption of service. There's no nothing. So I tell them, I don't ever say, can you help me on what the long distance? I say, I need you to do this for me. And I just need you to know that you're helping out my son. And then lastly, when it comes to the home phone service, you have to make sure that when you transfer a home phone service, it is so temperamental. It has to be exactly. If it's Clyde J. Wood, if you forget the J, somebody missed out on their bonus. That's how serious it can be, because it'll just kind of sit and keep pending and giving you all these different type of signs. But just know that I get excited about those, because I can switch you over. I don't even need your social. I just need your name. I already know where you live, because I know you. So I know your name, I know your address, and I should know your birthday if I'm calling you asking you for your phone service. So all I need from you is for you to tell me yes and give me your email. That's all I need from you. So that right there, I would say is your low-hanging fruit. I would say stick with that. Remember everything that I said, and you'll be qualified. And so will your people. And just telling them just what I just told you, just understand that you don't have to know everything. But if you tell somebody everything I just told you all, and they can't help themselves, I suggest you write up a letter and send it back after 9 days and tell them it's
Did that help everybody? Yes?
Yes.
I didn't hear you. Yes?
Yes.
Let's make this
Yes.
simple. You got a pen and paper? Yes, no, yes?
Yes.
So here's the game. We're going to get out of here. Because I know that your attention span, if you have not been trained for this, you'd be like, what the hell is going on? And one of the things I learned about successful people is they have a thing that I call the OG, which is considered an obsessive gene. You'll find something about wealthy people. One of my mentors used to say, he was a billionaire. He said, you know why more people are not, on the other side of money? And I said, no, why? He said, because it's boring. And I was like, how could making millions of dollars be boring? He said, because you can write this down. It's called mastering the mundane. It's that scientist that'll stay up. It's that mind that'll keep going through theorems. It's that person that'll hold on to a Rubik's Cube. It's that person who, no matter how tired they get, they don't know how to let go of something. Does anybody understand what I'm talking about in that? Yes. So that's the episode. That's the crazy person. So here, all you have to do is really be able to follow instructions. I'm going to give you instructions so you guys can go to bed. Because I'm actually getting my second win, so I have to let you guys go because I will go for another 10 hours. My family knows. I'm dead serious. So follow the instructions. I am looking for the people that want to make $10,000 by January 1st. By January 1st. And I'm looking at these sign-in sheets, and that's the first, it really is the first sign of being able to tell a lot about a person and how serious. I mean, if you looked at your signature and the way you signed in, honestly, and you knew that based on somebody being able to read your name, you putting down your number, you just won $50,000 in a lottery. And the only way you're going to get it is based on how you signed in to come and get the ticket. And I'm looking at, well, I only wrote my first name. They just lost $10,000. Telephone numbers, missing a digit. There goes another 10 grand. Didn't even put an email. There goes 30 grand. Invited by. There goes another thing. So that's gone. Because the key to success is truly when you're studying from a master, it's just following instructions. It's that simple. It's no rocket science. If I go into real estate, if I go into becoming a doctor, you know why Dr. Maxey is who he is, or Dr. Glenn is who she is? Because they go to school for years to do the same thing in the same application over and over. Dr. Walker, the same thing over. And is anybody getting this conversation? Yes. Those are the people that mastered the details. And I'm looking at them saying, if I were actually to be in touch with the people that said, I'm the one, and I had to count on being able to read your name, your email address, and your number, 50% have already been disqualified. Does that make any sense? Yes. Right? So, I made it really simple. I'm going to start all over again because now that you guys are here this long, you deserve the truth. Follow this instruction. I'm actually going to give you my number. You only can use it right now for like this evening. Don't ever call me. Don't ever call me. Don't ever call me. My family, talk to whoever invited you. They'll tell you, don't call me. Do not call me. Okay? So you have to follow the instruction. Everybody with me on that so far? And the reason I'm giving it out now is because I'm changing the number anyway. But still, I don't want you to call me. It will be changed in less than 30 days. But do not call me. Okay? Don't call me. Follow that instruction first. Text me within the next 30 minutes. Is anybody excited in here?
Yes.
Okay? I just want to know who wants to make 10 grand by January 1st. I mean, really. Because there's a price. The price is not money. I don't need your money. It's going to be what you sacrifice to get it for yourself. So I never do this. I'm just in a crazy, weird mood to do something really over the top. to support you and see if you are who you say you are, because I'm going to show you that I am who I am. So my cell number is real simple. It's 310. I don't even want your email. Give me my cell number. 310-927-3335. 310-927-3335. I don't care if you've been in for a year or less. The only ones that get a pass is if you have RD next to your name on the report, or if you have team coordinator next to your name. Those are the only people that get a pass. Anybody that does not have RD, and you're like, what are you talking about? Now you know who they're talking about. If you're an RD or a TC, you don't have to do this. If you're anything less, you could have been in 20 years. If it's not next to your name on the report right now, you better follow instructions, or don't worry about it. We'll talk in 2016. Everybody got it? Yes?
Yes.
So the instructions are very simple. You're going to text me and you're going to put 10K16. That's $10,000 by January 1st, 2016. It's actually almost exactly 4 months. So it's a game I'm playing for 120 days. Everybody with me? Yes?
Yes.
Right? So it's moving into, underneath that, you're going to actually put your name, your full name, first and last name. You're actually going to put your email. That way I don't have to figure out if there's a letter off, or if an R is a Q and a Q is a, is everybody with me on that so far?
Yes.
Okay, email. And you're going to put who's sponsoring you in the business. Who's bringing you into the business. That's it. You got a 30-minute window to send me a text. 30 minutes. So you're going to put 10K16, name, your full name, your email, and who's sponsoring. Does that work for everybody?
Yes.
And you will get an email back from me before 1 a.m. This is only for the crazy people that want to make crazy money. Because you have no idea. Everybody with me, yes?
Yes.
Excellent. So with that, all I can say is get with whoever's sponsoring you tomorrow night. We're in Cerritos. There'll be a whole thing. Everything you need to know, I'm going to put in the email. So only the crazy people need to get it anyway. So I don't need to sit here and go through a whole bunch of stuff, because if you text me, you'll have all the information. If you don't, you rely on the people that invited you. Does that make for everybody?
Yes.
Can we give everybody the biggest round of applause for this evening? You have a question? For everybody, or can we get out of here because you and everybody else can, or you could ask me? Outstanding. Can I have some music and we can get out of here? Outstanding. Love you guys. Pick up behind yourselves. Take care of Mama's house. And actually, those who want to stick around for 5 minutes, we're going to grab hands and pray. Those that don't pray, we'll pray for you. Okay? So it's real simple.